Hey guys, right, welcome back to the Anything Goes channel. As I said on the other channel, I was going to have a crack at my van this weekend. It's knocking on Saturday afternoon because I've been doing other work on another bike that I'm getting out of the way this week, next week. So I've just been finishing a couple of little bits on that and obviously create some space in the shed. So I'm fed up of moving it. Right, this van, as you can see, my bed's set up. I stay in here a lot. Sometimes I stay in the shed, sometimes I stay in here. Depends how things are. So the plan is today is get the mess cleaned up because it's in a bit of a mess, and basically remove these boards that need to come off. Hopefully get the floor up because it all needs to be stripped back so we've got a bare van. Now then, I have never done this before, so I'm on a massive learning curve. Anybody who has done it before with different experiences with doing things wrong or right or whatever, please jump in the comments. I'm all up for a bit of knowledge off some of you guys who have probably got a bit more knowledge than me. In fact, you will have lots more knowledge than me because I've never done it before. So yeah, that would be much appreciated. I have done a bit of research, obviously, and sort of get the gist of what I've got to do first. And I'm just going to chip away at it as and when I can because, yeah, it's quite an expensive process, or can be. So I've been researching materials and everything to not get bad stuff but try and get cheaper stuff because I am doing it on a budget. The budget is as and when I can afford it, so it's probably going to be a lengthy process, although I'd love to do it all in one go, but it's not going to happen. And then I've got this little van, it's a roof over my head, my little humble home. My tiny home, that's what I'm going to call it. So I'm going to kit it out so I've got everything basically. A chair, a bed, and somewhere where I can cook a meal. And most importantly, I can still fit a bike in here. So I'm going to get it all cleaned out and then we'll draw a little plan up of about how it's going to be. Let's get on with the cleaning. Oh god, this is going to take ages. That's a boat, well, a dinghy. Water, oil and coolant. It's probably not going to be like a full-blown camper. It's probably more like a, I don't know, like a race van, like people that use for motocrossing and things like that, where they can sleep in it, cook in it and put the bike in it. So it's probably going to be more along them lines, but I want it to be nice. I don't want to bodge it up. I want it to be really nice because I'll be spending a lot of time in here. It's my little home. So we get all this out first. The Thunderbox. I'll be getting a better one of these as well. I'm sure there's better ones on the market because this is basically just a bucket. We'll probably have one that comes out on a drawer so it can be put out of sight. This has been my table, so we'll have a little table. Do you know them ones that fit in the socket? You can sink a socket into the floor, then it has a single post with a small table on the top. I'm going to get one of them, and then that can be removed when I'm not using it. Shed chairs. Mark 1 cooker. I think that's where the most expense is when you start doing all the electrics. I want a solar panel on the roof, then I think it's a bank of leisure batteries. This is where I am going into the unknown. I don't really know what I'm doing. I did look at some leisure batteries. I think it's the lithium ones are completely out of the question because they are horrendous money. So it'd be proper big normal heavy leisure batteries, which I'm going to make a compartment under the floor for, because actually under this van there is tons of space, tons of usable space to get stuff or keep stuff out the actual van. So we'll make proper steel trays and probably some little hatches in the van where I can just lift them up and just I'll be able to check on stuff, maintain stuff and things like that. So the more I can squeeze under the floor, the more space I'm going to have here for cupboards. In fact, let's roll that up properly, because knowing my luck, it'll be full of ants if I just throw it out there on the grass open. I don't want to be sleeping in ants and bugs. This is my military bag. This is proper warm, this is. And we'll probably have proper bedding as well. Awkward. No, I'll do one strap will do. Put that on the tarmac bit. Oh, right, this one. Yeah, I'd like to try and get it insulated before the winter really sets in. Last night was my first night where I felt cold. I had all these 2 sleeping bags. I was wrapped up in 2 sleeping bags. Oh yeah, diesel heater. So the first bit is rip all this out, do the soundproofing. I've got that. I've got the it's like Dynamite, but it's not Dynamite. It's a cheaper version. So strip it out, put the soundproofing on, then the insulation, and then I think I'll probably put some electrics in trunking so I can board it all out, and then we'll make some trunking for the electrics. And I think there's got to be like a central control panel. I'm not sure, I'm learning. What else is there? I was going to say, but I can't remember. Oh, I'll think of it in a bit. You will go in there. Get in. Yes. There we go. So I've got all this. Got to go around all the panel joins apparently. Like I say, I'm just learning by watching videos and trying to pick apart all the videos of the stuff that really needs doing. So I'm going to seal all the panels up, hopefully do that today. So we'll keep that in here actually. That, yeah, look at this, you'll like this. We'll be doing some of this on the channel actually, because I love it. Great big magnet. I'll put that too close to the camera. Been doing a bit of magnet fishing. It's great fun. I will cover a bit of that because, like I say, this channel's just about all the stuff we get up to. I went last week. Put that out a minute. I went last week up to the Peak District. Check this out. I know that it's a bit rubbish with the light behind me, isn't it? Looks to be like 7.62 magazine, as in bullets. The old spring platforms come out of it, popped out, so it's a bit rotten. But I dragged that I drugged that hat. There's an ongoing joke on the other channel about that. I drugged this out of a lake. Well, it wasn't even a lake, it was more like of a biggish pond in the Peak District. I did film a bit of it, but I didn't get enough to really make a whole thing about it, so I'll add a bit on this actually. So what was that, 4th, 5th, 6th throw out with the magnet? I dragged that in because a lot of the water is disappearing out of these lakes, ponds and reservoirs up that Peak District. It's a waste of time because the water's sort of receded so far away, you've sort of passed where anyone could throw anything in the water. Anyone who's thrown anything in is now exposed because the water's receded so far, so you've got all like the mudlarkers and things like that. I've gone and found everything, but this came out the middle of a lake pond, and while we're there, a guy turned up with a rake, like a garden rake. You have to excuse me, the tractor's about to go by. Oh no, nice. Spraying the field. Yeah, a guy turned up with a garden rake and he was raking loads of live bullets. Like 2.2 rimfires, packs of 2.2 rimfires. He found several packs of them stuck in the black, smelly, silty mud. Live 7.62s, which would have been for this, and I walked round to the other side of the pond and just constantly kept finding 303 shells, and there was a couple of 5.56, which, you know, they look military to me, the 5.56, which would be what your SA-80 would have fired. So yeah, just loads and loads of firearm related stuff. Because he found the live bullets, I said to him, well, I don't want nothing to do with them. I've got a fair bit of experience with firearms. I've done shooting for many years out in the fields and on military ranges. So I no longer have licenses. I did have everything: shotgun, firearms, dealer's license, RFD as we call it. I think they still call it that. I had the lot. So I could have actually took them away years ago and dealt with it, but not now. So I did say you're going to have to hand them in or call the police to come and get them, whichever you may choose. Probably not best to travel with them. So I left him with that. I don't know what he'd done. I left him with it. But yeah, just loads of firearms related stuff coming out of this lake, sorry. So I might go back there. It would be, if it was ever completely emptied, God knows else what you'd find in there, but that'll be scrapped out. It's no good. I didn't want to throw it back in, so that's not the done thing to do. But yeah, that'll go in the bin. Right, bed. I don't know what I'm doing this. I'll have to set it all back up tonight. Heyo. Washer. There's always washers and nuts in my bed because that's the way it is. So yeah, I want to do it nice because it's going to last me forever. I don't wish to purchase another van. This van means a bit to me. This van does. I got this van after my mum passed away, so she left me a little bit of money, rather than, you know what it's like when you got some money, you start getting this, you start getting that, and before you know there's hardly any left and you're thinking, where did all that money go? So I went straight out and bought this van. So yeah, it's a little bit sentimental as well, because I look at it, my mum bought it me, so I want to do it nice. I want to keep it forever, and then when I'm gone, my kids can have it, and it's up to them what they do with it. I think my son will want to sell it and my daughter will probably want to keep it, so that'd be their argument. I'll be gone, it won't make a difference. Bike shock. So yeah, I've got to do some fittings in here as well, so this can be anchored down, but something that's not above the ground, so you ain't like tripping up it. Gertrude's wellies. The last wellies Gertrude put on, we had to cut him off him. His legs are like this. And we had to, his wellies had hydraulics on, and we had to get a knife and cut him off him. Oh, I couldn't stop laughing. A couple of more things we found at that lake in the mud. Some old bottles. I don't know how old they are, but this one, some of that indicates sort of old bottles is how sort of rough the glass is. So this bottleneck is completely off centre and sort of all whittledy-piggledy. So I'm guessing it's got a bit of age to it. It's got James Dyson. Yeah, bear with me, it's got a bit of Longsight Manchester Limited. And on this one, it's got quite an unusual top to it. It's quite bulbous, that bit is. This one's got Wilson's Brewery. That is literally all that's on that one. Oh, Wilson's Brewery Limited. I'll give them a clean up and have a proper look. Get all the mud out of them. Even so, they're nice just to put on display. And also, I pulled this out the river going into Matlock. It's like a part of a plaque. Really odd. I'm surprised. It's not lead or nothing. Obviously, it's the magnets picked it up. I'm really surprised it is not really rusty. This is literally how it came out, and you can see it's got like some sort of native Indian's head on there. Can you see that? Got a bit of a hole in his nose. So I'm going to clean that up. So I'm guessing that was a part of a big plaque. If anybody knows anything that could have been, shout up in the comments. It's quite interesting, that is. So that came out of the river going through Matlock. Yeah, I'll give that a clean up. I will be doing some magnet fishing on this channel because I enjoy it. You never know what you're going to pull out, so I'll find some places. The reservoirs and all that are a waste of time at the minute, like I say, because there's hardly any water in them, but we'll perhaps do some rivers and canals in, you know, further on in the future. First, as we do in the van, I'm going to share the whole journey on this van from start to finish, but obviously in between there'll be little adventures. The next one we're doing is in a couple of weeks time, and me and my trusty old sidekick Gertrude are going to one, apparently it's one of the biggest mines in the world, was one of the biggest mines in the world. Gertrude's done a bit of research on it. I've got to sort of pick his brains with that so I can share it with you guys. And there's miles and miles of underground tunnels, so we're going to go and take a look at that in a couple of weeks time. So if you want to see that, stick around and we'll be going there. I'm looking forward to that one. Anyway, let's get on with this. Oh, I found a hole for my dinghy. That was in the mud as well. That'll clean up. That's more than usable. See, if obviously I didn't pick that up with a magnet because it's plastic. It was just lying at the side. Get that clean up. That'll be used. stabbed myself. Oh God, come on. Also a fishing lure, which I picked up because I didn't want any animals to hurt themselves. I didn't want a dog to tread on it or anything else, or a bird try and eat it. So that would have been a disaster. So that will also go in the bin. So I don't do fishing. Right, I think I'll go and get the brush. Oh, let's draw the curtains. I want mine something nice. Can you see me? Rubbish camera again. Rubbish camera angles. Can you get like shutters for these? Or I think you can get curtains, can't you, in a complete like frame? We'll have to see. And we'll move everything else. I'm going to go and get the brush.
My wristwatch is broken, my shoes are untied. Time is a ticking, and so is the tide. But I am not worried, things are what they are. Come rain or come shine or a shooting star. I've been to the south, I've been to the north, east and the west, the middle of course. I may have been astray, but I've never been lost, never been beat by the road I've crossed. I guess I've been lucky to some degree, for someone who ate all the fruit from the tree. The stars been aligned and my goose hanging high. I'll be okay in the sweet by and by. I was born at morning on the first day of June, 1900 and something and two. My mom was a sweetheart, my father was too. They left me a watch and an old pair of shoes. I guess I've been lucky to some degree, for someone who ate all the fruit from the tree. The stars been aligned and my goose hanging high. I'll be okay in the sweet by and by. I'll be okay in the sweet by and by.
Quick tea break. Gonna have a tea break. Right, I'm gonna have a cup of tea and then we're gonna draw a little plan. And I probably won't follow the plan, as I never do, but I'll give it a go. A cup of tea first in the Mark 1 kitchen with the jet boil. These are brilliant. Proper handy when you go travelling on the bike. Right, let's sort this out. Oh, plenty left. Plenty left in there. Oh, wobbly. Wibbly wobbly. Let's put that down there where it's safer. and then we'll do a little bit of a plan. I've got my sketch pad ready. Sniff test. Yeah, that'll do. Yeah, so I think today we'll get the rest of the boards off and then sweep it all out. And then the next video we'll do the sound deadening. I'll show you that in a bit. I've got it somewhere. Yeah, the sound deadening. Then I've got to put a bit more money aside then to get the rest of it. And we'll just keep chipping away at it. Nice. Yeah, it'd be nice to have a little kitchen, won't it? So we can do everything properly. I think with like a hob and a cooker. So hob, cooker, fridge. That'll be it. And obviously a sink. So obviously I'm going to need water tanks and wastewater tank as well. I don't think it's the done thing to just dump your sink water out. It has to go into a waste one, and then you'll find the appropriate place to empty them out once in a while. Big learning curve this is for me. Right, let's get the drawing pad out. Cheers. It's going to be nothing elaborate. When it's all boarded, I don't want like the wooden tongue and groove slats. I've got nothing against that in a camper van, nothing at all. A lot of people do it and it looks absolutely fine, but I prefer that stretchy carpet finish and not wooden slats. And with boarding it with thin ply and that stretchy carpet, I guess it'll keep the weight down as well than loads of wooden slats. I don't know, but that's how I prefer it. So plan view then, we have a great big square empty van. That being the cab. That's a steering wheel. Double seats, which won't be there forever. That side will get changed to single seat. So we then have a walk through. So at the minute we've got sliding door this side and just a window that side. We've got no windows in the back doors. I want to keep it like that. Obviously we'll get some sort of shutter or curtains. We'll do these seats as captain seats, and I'm thinking probably another fixed seat in the back. I do not know yet because there's a lot of space, isn't it? Let's forget the third seat for now. I've not once been out in this van with 3 people, I don't think. No. So let's forget the third seat. So around this area, we'll have one of them floor sockets in. So these chairs can spin. And we'll basically have a table that can be took out and put in as we need it. Trying to think. Obviously shout up in the comments, because yeah, I've never done this before. I'm thinking here, around here, probably have to leave a gap for the driver's seat to spin round, won't we? I'm thinking here, around that window area, the kitchen. So we'll have the hobs, probably 2 or 4, a sink, then under there, cooker, and a small fridge. I only need a little fridge, don't need to keep a lot in it. Yeah, and then I reckon along the rest of this way, like a bench seat that will roll out into a bed. I don't want like a high up bed. I don't want like a garage area that some people do. It'd soak up too much living space because the bike can come in. I don't mind the bike being there, because if I go anywhere, the bike can go outside and be sort of locked to the van itself and stay outside at nights. So yeah, that can be some sort of seating that rolls out into a bed. And then above all this, obviously not there because that's the window, but in this area here I can just have a line of cupboards, right up against the roof of the van, so they're above this seat. I don't need a lot of cupboard space either. And then obviously we'll have a little channel here to walk in. That'll go over the one wheel arch, that'll be hidden. The wheel arch is a bit battered, so I'm going to box them in. We're going to have obviously the other wheel arches here. I shall encase that in. We'll put all the sound deadening stuff over that as well. I think where this bed is, looking in the back of the van, so if we stood outside, we're looking in the back. Some nice wheels there. So we're going to have the floor. I think where that bed is will be here, but obviously it'll be a bench. I'm going to put a little door here right in the end, and I can slide the bike ramp in there, so that's out of the way. So obviously I need to cart the bike ramp around. And then in this area here, we can just have the bike. Do you like my drawing of the bike? How good's that? I don't handlebars. But I'll measure it all up properly and see what we can do where. And if I can have a third chair, I will have a third chair, but it's not important. I'm on about a chair that someone can sit in while we're travelling with a seat belt on it and everything. But I think that's basically all it needs to be. And like I say, if I have took my bike anywhere, that could be pushed outside at night for the bed to come out, and the bed over the whole width of the van. I've got to measure all these things. Even if I can't stretch out totally, it better be wide enough to go diagonally. It don't hurt, does it? I'm a light sleeper. I'm always rummaging about and moving all through the night. I think that'll do it. And then on the roof, a solar panel. On the back doors, one of them a ladder, so you can get up and clean the panel and everything like that. What else could you put on a roof? Nothing really, is there? So yeah, strip it all out like we're doing now, get it all cleaned, get the soundproofing on, And then it's insulation, and I guess we've got to look into the wiring. Only want a few lights here and there. It doesn't need to be lit up like a football pitch. But this is the sort of thing I can add to over time. I'll eventually get some outside lights and things like that. The diesel heater, no doubt that'll hide somewhere. I think you just get like a small outlet that blows the warm air out with them. Now, there's a lot of people say these Chinese diesel heaters are absolutely fine. There's been people running them for years and they've never had a problem. And they are really cheap. So I'll probably go for one of them. You can buy the whole kit with a heater, the little separate diesel tank. I know probably some people say feed it out your actual diesel tank of the van. I don't particularly want to do that. No doubt I'll go and park up somewhere for ages, and then I'll find out I've hardly got any diesel to drive out the place. So I want the heater on, definitely want the heater on a separate tank. I don't know how efficient they are. I don't know how much fuel they drink. I don't know. I know absolutely nothing at this stage. Just that I'm going to learn as I go along. And then obviously the solar panel will, I guess, charge leisure batteries up, which I'm going to try and hide under the van with a hatch in here somewhere so you can access them in the van, but the bulk of them will be under the van. And then water tanks under the van. There's got to be obviously a pump and a water heater for your sink. And I guess majority of this I can make compartments under the van or in this. No, to be honest, in that seat, I'm probably going to design some sort of steel frame mechanism where you lift the lid up on this seat and the seat all comes out of that into a bed. A frame all comes out. A bit like a sofa bed you can get for your house. I can make all the framework for that and go from there. So that's about it. It's the basic idea of where I'm going to go. I'm sure there's going to be lots of ideas floating around in the comments, and some of them I might I might use, who knows. But to start with, we've got to get the beginnings done first and get it ready, sort of get it all cleaned out so we've got a blank canvas. And then I'm going to measure everything up. The van probably looks bigger than what it is on camera. They always do, don't they? When you watch these lot of van programs, the inside of the vans always look huge on camera, but obviously they're not. But we'll definitely got enough room for all that and a bike. I do not want to put too much in it, and I can't get a bike in. It's going to be mainly just me using the van. So I think something like that I'll do just fine. Right, I'll get these boards up in a minute. I'm just looking at my bike ramp. There's quite a wide ramp, which is, I like the wide ramps. You feel safer pushing your bike up and down it. How I said earlier on that little drawing, now we'll slide it under this chair. It can either be like that and the seat comes out to here, or it can be sliding in like so. I can have the chair. I could even have this bed. I only need single in here, so I could probably just have this chair as the bed and not have a big bed that folds out. I've got more than enough length here from where the kitchen bit would be. So I'll probably just have it as a single. That's probably much easier like that. So there's no bed mechanism or anything to try and fold out. I can still have it quite wide and still have plenty of space to bring bike in and out. So I think, yeah, that can either go under it like so or like so. That'll be easy enough. Yeah. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Sorted. What a mess. Oh boy. Look at this. It's collected some muck over the years. Yeah. How this look? Filthy. She's filthy. Right, I've got to start doing something with that lot. I'll get this wood cut up into tiny pieces. I'll give that to children for their log burner. And we'll start getting the dusting done. I've started. I think this is going to take a while. There's, yeah, a lot of muck under them boards. As you can see, we got all the sides to clean, so what I think I might do is just call it a video at that, get this done, then get it all washed. I might even go up the local garage actually, brush the majority of it out. Some of it I've got to use the soft wire brush on. I've got a wire brush with some brass bristles, so it's a bit kinder, and get all the like the grinding stuff out. Some of it's like compressed and stuck to the floor of the van. So this is going to take me a couple of hours, I think. So I've got other jobs I'm doing in between this, you see, to a bike that's got to go next week. Early next week it's got to go. So I'm going to finish that off as well in between getting this underway. So I'm going to call it a video on this. I'm going to, yeah, like I say, probably pop up to the local garage, get this hoovered out with the big vacuum cleaner up there, and then next video we'll have a blank canvas, all clean, ready to start doing the soundproofing. And as we're doing this, we're going to figure out plans. I think obviously we're going to have to put some sort of wooden framework in all the way round to do the boarding. Like I say, I'm not going to do sort of the wood finish. There's nothing up with that, but I prefer that carpeted type finish. So we're going to do wooden frame, I guess, then full boards, and then cover it with that that carpet. Is it like a stretch? Is it 4-way stretch or something? I'm not 100% sure. And cover it all with that, and it should start looking smart. Anyway, that'll do for this one. Plus, it's starting to rain and all my stuff's outside. See you later, guys. Cheers for watching.